Hey, y'all. Welcome back to my Marriage at First Sight recap for episode whatever that we're on. I think we're on episode 14. No hug for you. And can I say that I am emotionally drained from this episode alone? Like, I couldn't. Miguel, wow. Like, Lindy, you talk about Lindy's ways. Like, you were draining the living fudge out of me. Okay, y'all, I'm your girl Ash. If you are new here, welcome. We do weekly recaps with some of my favorite episodes, so stick around a little bit, watch a couple of videos, see if you like it, girl. Don't jump off just yet. Watch this video all the way through, so we can get to know each other, and so you can get in, and understand in my commentary on how I flow things, around here. So y'all, this episode, this is the episode where they do their couples retreat, where the couples get together a time again to like spend, days like together as a group, and then as well as a couple, kind of like the honeymoon, but again, this is a retreat. So, we know the retreat comes like very, very close, as they're getting close to decision day. So boom, like everybody's getting ready. Everybody's, excited. Things are like really heating up in Nate and Stasha's bedroom. Like, they got the vibrating panties, and like she even got an idea to like go ahead, of course, like make it sexy, make it spontaneous, put on the panties when you're in a group setting with everybody. Like, I'm here for it. I'm all here for it. I'm absolutely here for, Kristen wanting to like clear the air, not wanting to go into this trip with, as they call, what did they call, Poolgate, with, with the stuff from Poolgate, still just hanging over. And, I commend her for, even though I felt like she was, righteous, and praised her for just kind of just like letting it out and just like calling Mitch out. She, apologized. And I can't be mad at that, for just taking her accountability, taking her part, and understand that she, understanding the feelings that he might have been in with how, she reacted or whatever or whatnot. Like, either way, like, she apologized, cleared that air up, and even in one of their exercises, they decided to like, kind of like as a way to like really clear that up and like close that gap, so that that's a step forward that they can continue, to move on. So things just seem so good. Like, did anybody else see an inkling that Miguel was so irritated and just going off of fumes, as he says, from this trip, or not gonna say from this trip, but from the beginning of this trip, so he decides, as so that they're gonna do like this adult prom for Lindy, bought her a dress, whatever. So that's like one of the first things, one of the main things that they get into, and they talk about, when they all arrive at their like retreat location. And can I say that their retreat location was like the best? Like, one thing about it though, I'm not gonna sit here and hold production though. These TV people know how to find an Airbnb, because I mean, it is an Airbnb, right? Like, basically, like, y'all, they know how to find a spot to rent out for these couples. So like, really, like, this spot was really like the ultimate, like, all the couples. What is that one girl, that one bougie girl was so bougie about everything, who had the guy that was like bald headed? Oh my gosh, I can't even remember their names, but I feel like this was definitely more her aesthetic, right? So either way, the place was bumping, y'all. Like, I was like, oh, look at everybody was feeling it. Everybody, was loving it. So like I said, we're jumping right into, everybody, just seeing each other, getting used to, because I'm like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at everybody like, wait a minute, is everybody there? Is everybody there? Clearly, Ben and Morgan have ended their marriage, Ashley. So ain't no more Ben and Morgan for couples. Like, one already bit the dust already. So, you know, we got some really like surprises, like really coming in. Like I said, Lindy's prom, Nate and Saj talk about they had a present for them, and I'm like, ooh, a present. Like, what y'all got going on? What y'all got for like, this is gonna be cute. Justin and Alexis had sex, and I'm so mad. I got so excited for this, y'all, because it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. But I was, y'all. I was like so hyped for this. And I think that's what it is. Like, Alexis must be really good at putting a face on, or irregardless of the circumstances, she's still happy in this marriage. Y'all let me know what y'all think down there in the comments below. But so he's helping her, you know, get ready. Look, she looks beautiful. One thing about Alexis, like she can put herself together, okay? So they're getting ready, you know. She asks him to, you know, like help put her shoe on, or like strap her shoe up or whatever, right? So he's struggling, and she just talks about basically how he was even struggling with like taking her bra off or whatever or whatnot. Now, that flew off my head. I was just kind of like just thinking like in the setting of just like, hey, babe, you help me take my bra off, like whatever. Like, no, she was just like, he was just like, that was just something. What did he say? He was like, that's just something I would have kept to myself, or I would have took to the grave or whatever. She was like, what? You're saying of having sex with your wife? Oh, that's what we do. I was like, ooh, they got the rumpa. I was too hyped for them. But that hypeness went away so quick, because y'all, if you disagree, definitely let me know of what you thought of this interaction, of Lindy and Miguel's initial interaction too. If Miguel was already irritable, you know, coming up on this trip, I guess he's tired, works hard, whatever. He was going off of fumes. I felt like Lindy was cool. First off, this is her prom that she never had. Explain even to the group, like, you know, I've never had a prom. It's who I came from. You know, that's just whatever. That's just not what we did, whatever. She's excited. She's hyped for this prom. You buy her a dress. Of course she wants to live in the moment. Of course she wants to take pictures. Her asking him to take the picture, her asking him not to take a selfie, to do it right, to do it like I, for once, did not find any, wrong with Lindy's tone, period. And all of a sudden Miguel's like, oh, I don't like that. Like, he started basically low-key going in, and Lindy became very apologetic. No, I didn't mean like that, or I was joking, or like whatever. No. Like, he felt like he was being gaslighted. He was like, oh, y'all, it just went left there. I was just really totally confused, because mind you, we're just listening. We're not seeing body languages. We're not seeing everything. We're just hearing them with their mics on or whatever or whatnot. And I'm like, bro, I don't see anything wrong with her tone. So what? She got annoyed because she wanted her picture taken a certain way. Like, how are you really getting annoyed and agitated about her? Like, oh, that's what it was. Oh, read the room. Okay, yeah, because he said, oh, I was just chilling or whatever or whatnot. So I guess she was supposed to understand that he was tired, didn't want to take her picture, whatever. Yeah. I stand by Lindy on this one, y'all. Lindy did no wrong to me. Lindy did no wrong. So, irregardless, this whole prom get up I thought was super cute. Kind of giving everybody superlatives and nicknames, even going through so I mean, they're all kind of superlatives to me, or is it kind of just so I just want to go over them because I really felt like they were really fitting. So as the couples came out or whatever or whatnot, so hold on, because I had so many notes from this episode, y'all, so it might be a little lengthy. Where is it? Y'all. There it is. Yeah, Alexis and Mitch and Kristen and Mitch were senior class president and 5th year senior. I have no idea what that means. Does that mean that Mitch probably it took 5 years to be a senior? Or I don't understand. Y'all let me know if y'all understand what that means. So I was just like, all right, I understand, but I don't understand. But Kristen is probably, if she was the senior class president, I could definitely see it. Alexis and Justin, Alexis being a jock and him being her cheerleader. Okay, I thought that was cute because y'all, we know Justin ain't got not one athletic bone like in his body. Sasha and Nate, the cool kids, very fitting. And then of course, like they named like prom king and queen to Lindy and Miguel, but they also did like another like superlative where they did like, so like life of the party went to like Alexis, best dancer went to Nate. Though it was super funny. Tell me y'all did not crack up when Kristen was basically trying to say that she felt like she should have won, that she was the best dancer. And then they started showing the clips of Kristen dancing. Y'all, I bawled. I was dying. I was like, it's all right, Kristen. You are a dancer at heart. Like you be out there. Kristen would be that girl that I would end up on the dance floor with, like, because I be on the dance floor and she look like a girl that's gonna stay on the dance floor and we just gonna end up like tearing this thing down together. But I'm gonna dance though. I'm gonna dance though. But either way, so what was the rest of them at? Where's the rest of my notes, y'all? I got sidetracked. Oh yeah, biggest drama queen, Lindy. Well given, most emotional, Justin. Most likely to save the planet, Mitch. Class clown, Mitch. Best all around, Stasha. Biggest gossip, Alexis. Yo, the fact that, this is why we had to go over these things, y'all, because people had feelings, especially Nate, but I think it was maybe Miguel, and yeah, it had to been because Lindy and Mitch were like, Lindy was like doing the host. So yeah, it had to be Miguel and Lindy. Like they basically feel like Alexis is the reason why like they ended up in like a divorce, because she went and told Morgan gossip basically, and Nate was just like, at the end of the day, no, not even Nate, Stasha, which was right. I feel like that was very well carried out. Stasha felt like that she just should have encouraged Justin to talk to Ben, to talk to his wife, or whatever the case, like not even whatever the case, because that's basically what she was saying, like, because, and I was just like, dang, like, y'all definitely let me know what y'all think about that. Do y'all think that Alexis was the detriment to their divorce? Was that something that you did just see coming? Like I said, I already felt like it was an awkward couple because she just seemed very alpha compared to, Ben. Does that mean it was not going to work? I don't know, but it was just something just a bit childish about her that I just felt like that she was just not, y'all. So y'all definitely don't let me know how like y'all feel about that. So most likely to stay married, Lindy and Miguel, obviously, because they seeing things from the outside, not what's going on behind those closed doors. And most likely to end up with multiple divorces was Kristen. And Kristen voted herself. And that was actually very confusing for Mitch, who, felt like, that was more of like a joke that he would like say. He, I can get why it was confusing for him, because she's definitely been, she wants to be married. She wants to stay married. And for her to say something like that, it was just kind of like, wait, like what? But understanding her point of like, okay, like I'm just that person that loves love, and I'm going to go for it no matter how many times in order to get it right, I guess basically is what she was saying. I guess, Kristen, I digress, but I knew that the argument with Lindy and Miguel was going to end up carrying on into her prom. I knew it was just not going to be over there from there. Like Miguel's tone, and I can't even say his demeanor because I didn't necessarily see it, but it was just like this is going to be like one heck of a trip. Like this is not just going to be like a one-day thing. Like this is going to carry over, and it fully carried over into the entire trip, y'all. So he basically they didn't even walk out together. All my phones almost go off in the middle of My phone is always going off in the middle of my recap. So they didn't even walk out together arm in arm, while all the other couples, of course, they walk out arm in arm, excited, hype about this adult prom. She walks out ahead of him, the woman of the party, of course, that she is, but like, bro. So everything was all nice. Everything was all damn. I just kept looking at Miguel and I was like, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. This is nope, 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 nope. This is not going to. And then, of course, it does end up like, you know, them having the disagreement about it, you know, in the middle of the freaking party, you know. So he's, you know, like basically expressing himself. And I think here was my thing. So he basically felt like he was gaslighted because she lied about, she was upset. She said that she was joking when she really was upset, and basically that not being clear and her speaking her truth about his feelings like bothered him. Where I was with it, and even when she kept saying it wasn't like that, that's not how it was trying to be, I believed her. One thing I feel about Lindy is Lindy has standed on her stuff. She stands on her shit. The things that's about her, she stands on it and she owns it. So when she's genuinely trying to say, that's not how I was trying to be, that's not how I was just trying to come off, like I'm just trying to figure this out. I'm like, I genuinely feel like that girl is trying. And Miguel was just like, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, I feel like Miguel is low-key spinning. Things are coming to an end. And I feel like it's his own fear, really, is what played a factor into, you know, all this. So, you know, they managed to talk through. One thing about them, y'all, they managed to still talk through their stuff. Nobody kind of like really walks away until they've kind of like reached the point where they feel like they've at least gotten somewhere, you know, in that conversation. So we thought maybe that thing was going to be over, but no, that thing still was not over, y'all. But their present from Nate and Stasha was that swing. You know, they woke up the next morning with smiles. So whether the swing was actually used or not, or I don't know, but it didn't make things better, that's for sure. It did not help, I guess, in the far as, I guess, like going band to some rhythm. I think what I just loved was the fact that they were just so comfortable to practice out the swing, you know, in front of each other. Like, they could say practice it out, but like just really like showing each other like how it worked and like just mess around or whatever or whatnot. Like, I was like, you know, some people like are very, you know, see that as evasive and like it's you know, too much and feel like that's, you know, that's uncomfortable and like private. So, you know, Nate is just all free and all this. Like, he made it very clear, and his family made it very clear of the freak in him. So, you know, the issue grows into, you know, like their date, you know, while they're on their date. So I ain't gonna say like even the same issue, another issue. Basically, Lindy's personality is bothering the shit out of Miguel. Basically, like, he really like cannot, I don't want to say that he can't handle it, because I think that it's just really a matter of like him. All right, so basically, because I ain't gonna say what he need to do, because I don't know necessarily what he need to do. So they are out on the stage, they're going on like a carriage ride, and he's talking and like, you know, talking about things or having a conversation. And it's different if you're like, you're doing it, okay, every like here and there. But like, it seemed like she just kept doing it, interrupting him to notice something. Oh, that over there. Oh, that over there. Like, I get it. But at the same, like, for me, when I was looking at it, I thought it was rude. I thought it was rude. And I was like, girl, like, you don't hear this man talking and you don't, and it put me like okay, is she not? It made me just like feel bad, because at that point, it made it twice. At that point, that was the first time, I think. It made it twice that I was like, okay, maybe he's right. Maybe she doesn't like get how to read the room. You don't see that every time like he's getting ready to talk that you're like, and it's getting to him. Okay, that's cool that is you, but it's getting to him. That one dread just means it's going to like just do whatever and like just stick up. All right, I think I just made it like do whatever. It's doing whatever. It's just doing whatever. So that then, of course, catapulted and turned into another argument, basically, so to speak. It then turned into, because basically it's about like her being, she's like, you know, and that's what I mean. Literally, when I was like, one thing about Lindy, she will own it. She was like, he was like, oh, that's, she was like, well, you know, you're upset about things about that to me. That's just my personality. He's like, oh, that's you being rude and interrupting. She was like, well, yeah, like Lindy will say if something is it, she will say it. She will admit it. She's like, I don't feel like she has an issue with being accountable for her stuff. Like she knows the stuff about her. So that's why I was so like on her side about the whole argument that started like this whole thing. And really, I felt like as well, everything just triggered Miguel at this point. No matter what, everything was just because he was already there. So it was nothing that she could do to get him out of that place because he was just already there. He was just already just so negative. It's just like everything that what she would try to spew out, like to try to defend herself or to clear the air. He would just, y'all, when I say I was drained myself watching this thing, I was like, I'm just so sorry for you. I'm just so sorry for you, Lindy, right now. You know, everybody else seemed to like, you know, have, you know, a good date. You know, Mitch and Lindy, you know, they did the, you know, shooting arrows or whatever, and which seemed to be very great at it. And that's where they came up with the idea to like, you know, to kind of like kill things by, you know, writing those specific things, like the whole pool gate situation, and just deadening it by putting the arrow through it and just, you know, letting it die and just letting it be that, because they've, you know, moved past it, like the attraction thing as well, you know, deaden that. Like he has, you know, he did, you know, finally like give her those affirmations, confirm that he's attracted, and let her know of the things that, you know, he likes about her. Like that's something that she said, like, I want to hear those things. I need to, you know, to hear those things. So they moving on along here, y'all. Like, even though they be taking their steps back, sometimes I feel like they definitely like be really like, you know, taking those steps forward. But I very well maybe could be speaking too soon, because that was something, you know, it is like there is still like an unsureness, you know, that I feel like that she feels, you know, when they were, you know, just all waiting for Lindy to come back from her date, and the guys waiting for Miguel to come back from his date, and they were just all, you know, grouping up, the guys and the girls. And, you know, she was just talking about how, you know, they still had not had sex yet, while Justin and Alexis had sex, but I guess it was not satisfying. It doesn't sound like to, you know, Alexis. It sounds like she still had to possibly dominate a little bit. And that's something that she's clear that, you know, she doesn't want to do, you know, in the bedroom. And it did kind of like clear up now the whole like, okay, like he could barely like take my bra off, you know, and I'm like, but, and he's like, poor thing. He's like, if I can't see it, I can't take it off. Bro, that is a skill you're just supposed to be able to learn. I love the fact that we over here just boom, 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 and your hand is behind my back. You might be struggling for a second, but you get that thing off without having to look, okay? Like, I get it. It can be hard sometimes. Heck, we be struggling sometimes as women. Or maybe that's just me. But come on. So I was just like, well, dang, like, what a way for me to get excited for basically nothing. Because I'm like, yes, we're progressing. They're doing so great. They're having sex. And no, they're not having great sex necessarily. So, getting over that depression. No, it's like you can't even get over that depressive moment. Like it literally was just like highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. So while Nate, Stasha over here, they are over here like living their best like life. Stasha's really getting into, you know, this trust and intimacy with Nate. You know, they go with her plan, you know, to put the panties on, you know, while they're at dinner with the rest of the group. And like, it's literally as I imagined, like, it was gonna be, like, her squirming is at the table. Like, I feel like you see it in movies, obviously, or whatever, or whatnot, but I feel like they might dramatize it a little bit more or whatever. I don't know, it's a freaking movie. But anyway, though, so, like, to actually see her, like, barely couldn't able to sit. You could hear, like, actually hear, like, little, and like little moans, and just like, I was like, yo, Nate is giving her the business. And of course, Nate's silly self really does not know how to work the remote. So it's like, bruh, I'm really over here getting your attention. You see me over here struggling. I'm asking you through my teeth, do you know how to work the remote? And you're just sitting there just watching me just suffer. You're just sitting there just watching me suffer. All the while, the low is over here where Lindy and Miguel got into it yet prior to, because they don't even make the dinner. They don't even make the dinner because they end up getting into it prior to Lindy trying to read the room or whatever or whatnot. And she wants a picture taken, it's a nice set, and she wants a picture of herself, decides not to ask her husband or even tell her husband to take a picture of her. She asked the producer, whew. Yet again, Miguel is triggered. So that literally then turned into like, I'm trying to understand you. You don't understand me. I don't even want to go back. There's no even point of even trying to go back and even like trying to talk out these arguments that they were having, because it was basically saying the same thing over and over and over, because it was all ultimately going back to the same issue, because he was triggered off of that one issue. And like I said, everything else from there was like whatever. I feel Lindy though. Like I feel like she's already feeling like she's walking around on eggshells. So I don't want this picture incident to happen again. Don't worry about it, babe. I see you over there chilling, enjoying the sunset. That was me reading it, thinking that you were enjoying the sunset. He's like, well, you could have just asked me. You're right. She very well could have asked you. But I think for her, she felt like that it might have been a whole trigger thing for you. And what she said, she's like, I don't know what's going to trigger you or what's not going to trigger you. So in my mind, this was the best way for me to handle it. She couldn't. She couldn't win. She couldn't win. She absolutely could not win. And I'm not going to lie. I'm a hopeless romantic. The fact that I do love that whenever she does, like, really, when it's really impacting her and she's really, you know, crying and things, that he will go after her. But not before, of course, he rejected her when she wanted a hug. I was like, dang, bruh. Like, it was so hard. She had to name the episode after that statement. Like, bro, like, come on. So, but still, nonetheless, like, she just like, look, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. I'm tired. I'm mostly drained. I don't even want to do the dinner with the other couples. But it's just like, cool, you know, you don't have to do the dinner. You know, she goes off, and like I said, he goes after her. They try, you know, again, y'all, they do their best to try to talk through these things. Like, it feel like it never go, like, it's never like someone walks away or like someone leaves. They continue to try to talk through these things, to try to like work through it so they can better understand each other and get through these situations. And that is one of the things that I really admire about them, you know, as a couple. But it's definitely leaving up in the air, like, you know, like even... So after, you know, that all happened and, you know, the dinner was over, you know, with actually Alexis basically catching, not they got caught, not they were caught, you know, wearing the vibrating panties. Like, because of course, her having these like little moments, like it's getting everybody's attention, at least the ladies' attention. Like Kristen and Alexis were literally like, what is going on over here? And so while they don't admit it, clearly Stasha happened to like get up and like walk away. Like, girl, I'm sure you was a mess of yourself, girl. Ain't no telling, y'all. Ain't no telling, po baby. Ain't no telling how long that thing might have actually like just kept going. And at the intensity that it was probably at, y'all, maybe I need to do like a disclosure that this episode, that this recap is a little bit R-rated or PG-13, at least PG-13, because we just talking about, you know, it's just the languages that I'm using. And I feel like I kept it PG. I feel like I kept it PG a little bit. So, but they kind of meet up again, you know, after the fact. And Miguel is apologetic. Miguel is also self-aware. He is taking accountability for, you know, how he's kind of been, you know, this whole trip, you know, with where his mental state has been or whatever or whatnot. So, but it's not to say that it was going to be over, because y'all, it still was not over. They played, y'all, I really just love how this group of couples, like, really just meshed together. Their dodgeball game just legitimately looked like a, you know, a fun game. And of course, it would be Lindy's idea to, you know, basically to do, like, you know, obviously for the teams to be, you know, co-ed on each team, but as well, the couples can't be on the same team. I was like, and watch. Miguel is going to be in his feelings in some way about this. And sure enough, came down to it. Like I said, the game was like, I wish that if I was at least not there to watch, I wanted to be in the game. The game was hype. Or either it was a great game, or either production knew how to put these pieces together to make it look like a great game. I'm into it. I'm eyeing the ball going this way. Ooh, boom, you out. Boom, you out. Ooh, look, they got you. Ooh, look, they got you. Down to it. Down to the end of the game. Miguel against Nate. Lindy is on the same team as Nate, and she's cheering for Nate to get Miguel out. I said, watch. So see, she kept saying, I said, watch. This it right here. This gonna be it right here. And sure enough, he got in his feelings. Y'all, this moment was so big for him. Their entire situation has just been so big that I feel like this was more of like, okay, all right, a team praise of each other, how we did. I don't know if this was necessarily supposed to turn into like a couple's relationship talk, but both Lindy and Miguel dominated their conversations that they were having about each other with the group. Nobody got a word in about nothing. Nothing. Lindy's like, I'm done. I don't know if I can do this anymore. I don't think she's necessarily done with the marriage, but I think she's done walking on eggshells and trying to be so pleasing, you know, to Miguel, because it has been a lot of, like with Mitch, it's been a lot of me making sacrifices to make sure you're happy and not do things that's going to trigger you. And versus, well, you're not, vice versa. You're not trying to compromise with me on my end. You're not trying to be compromising with my, you know, my personality, you know, and things like it. It was so much, y'all. It was so much, y'all. So definitely don't forget to show me, to let me know, you know, what y'all thought of this episode, because it was just so much going on. So this close, we're getting so much closer to decision day. So make sure that you thumbs up this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not, and as always, I will see y'all next week. Peace.